Are you ready to spill some real tea about what it's like being a woman over 40? I'm not going to sugarcoat being 40. Didn't know what their purpose in life was. The lack of motivation is real, but it's that feeling of overwhelm, confidence issues. Nobody has their shit all together, including myself. About the future, everything that you thought you should be ashamed of, you can release it. You know what? 40 is a struggle. Let's get honest, people. I promise you, by the end of this video, you are going to have such a sigh of relief, because actually you're not alone with how you're feeling. You're not alone with the challenges that you're facing. You are not alone with all the things, all the unknowns that you are thinking about your future. There is a tribe of women over 40 that is on the same journey, looking for the same things as you. And we're here, and let's embrace each other. Hey there, Brazen Tribe. My name is Chantel. I am the curator of I Am Brazen blog. And on my channel, I share the habits and the mindset shifts I've made since turning 40 to create a life that I actually truly deserve. But today's video, I'm going to deep dive with no fluff, no pretense, about what it's really like to be a woman over 40. I mean, the real stuff, the real things that we might not even share with our friends or family, the real things we're thinking and feeling, and the struggles we have. So grab your tea and let's spill some. So let's get into it. Okay, so when I describe, or if I describe someone who had maybe body confidence issues, was worried about the future, didn't know what their purpose in life was, you may think, well, that might be a young 14-year-old girl, that might be someone in their 20s. No, let's get honest, people. That is us women in our 40s too. When I reached 41, I had a midlife crisis. I just looked at my life and thought, flipping hell, how have I got here, and how the hell am I going to get myself out of here? It was a really, really struggle of a time. However, when I've looked at, and I've been running my blog for a few years now, and the fact is, I always thought I was alone. I was not alone. There is a whole plethora of women from all different walks of life that are going through the same thing at the exact same time of their life. So let's dive down into one of the main issues that still plagues a woman's life even in the age of 40. Body issues, body confidence, health issues. I mean, who would have thought at the age of 41, when I had my midlife crisis that was the catalyst for me becoming who I am now today, I was 5'0" and I was 30 pounds heavier than I am. So I had no energy, I was lethargic, I had really bad self-confidence issues, which I never let anybody know, because, you know, I carried on as if everything was great. And I think that is one of the things that we do as women. In a nutshell, I was not happy. I was not happy, but nobody really knew that about my unhappiness because of my weight. Nobody really knew how I was feeling because of my weight, because I projected a carefree, laughing, and just, you know, all positive mood. But I think a lot of us are doing that in our 40s. A lot of us are having the psychological effects of the changes our body's going through. I mean, because bloody hell, should I be thinking about menopause now? I mean, what age do the menopause start? What age? There's so much going on top of the weight that we kind of tend to hide it and just put a mask on about, you know, this is me, this is my curve, this is me, I love my curves, but sometimes I wasn't loving my curves. I wasn't, because my curves, if it was just one curve, cool, but the curves were like that. You get me? And I would do things and wear certain clothes to cover it up, but it just was so restrictive. So that's one of the truths about being 40. You do not all of a sudden feel totally comfortable in your own skin. You do not, and no matter what size you are, like I said, I have lost over 30 pounds, but that was not the reason. I think the loss of the weight was the byproduct of me fixing my mindset about my whole life. But those are one of the issues that we need to start talking about more honestly and openly, that we do have body confidence issues just as we did when we was 14 and 16 years old. Another truth about turning 40 is that all of a sudden slowly but surely we start to become, or it seems like we're becoming invisible. Yes, we've got like celebrities out there in their 40s, 50s. When I'm thinking about 50, I'm thinking about J-Lo at the moment, swinging on that pole last year. Anyway, so, but you've got all these, you've got the extremes of I am 50, here I am, and this is, accept me as I am. And you've got just us normal folk like, actually, my kids are growing up, so they're not going to need me no more. I'm now 40, maybe in the career that I want to do, and I'm maybe getting passed on for promotions. I go into the shops to buy something, and there's nothing really for my age group. Can I wear that mini skirt? Can I wear those shorts? Is that belly top too much for me? Actually, it seems like the whole of society starts to kind of make us invisible. Like we can't see ourselves out there in a way that truly represents us. But what I would like to say to you is, do you. Hey, I'm going to be 45 this year, yeah? And not much has changed in what I like to wear from when I was younger, you know? I still like my big hoops, my Air Maxes, and my high buns. That's me. I've tried to be sophisticated. I've tried to do the heels, and that's just not me. Find something that makes you feel good about yourself. Find friends that make you feel good about yourself. Tap into media outlets and tap into to people out there that make you feel good about yourself in the time of your life now. You don't have to be running down what the young children are doing, and you don't have to be actually looking forward 20 years from now, because you're not ready for 60 or 70-year-old dynamics as yet. So do you. I think one of the biggest challenges and struggles we face as 40-year-old women is how the actual realness of where we are in our 40s does not hit the expectation of where we thought we would be 20 years ago. I remember during my 20s, I had all these things about, oh, don't worry, I can do this, do that. But when I reach 40, I should have this, I should have that, I should have that. And I reach 40, and I ain't got none of that. None of it. That was such a blow to my psyche and my own mindset and mental health. And it's just being able to sit back and think, you have got time. You've got time for all those things that you thought you would have done in the last decade. 40 now is the time to start working on it. You've got the freedom to do that. All you need to do is take the action. But that also comes with having the motivation, because let's be honest, depending if you've got children, depending on what type of career path you've had, depending if you've got other commitments in life that are taking your time, the lack of motivation is real. The lack of motivation to actually do something you say you're going to do is real. Now, you could blame it on your age, because that is what my first thing is, like, oh, I'm getting old. 40 is not old. Believe me, I've got more energy now than I did 30 years ago when I was raising my kids. I have got more energy now. But it's the mindset of actually getting up and doing something. So motivation is one of the key factors that all women over 40 are struggling with, because we also have the added burden of how we're feeling about ourselves. We have the added burden of overwhelm. We've got the disappointment of maybe where we find ourselves in life. And then we've got the not knowing where to start. Where do we start if we want to make some big, catastrophic, life-changing decisions and be in a different place by the age of 50? Where do you start? I know it. Start on my blog. Just log on there, click the link to my blog, and you'll find some really good starting points. But getting back to what we're talking about, the brain fog, the tiredness, the lack of motivation is real. And there are things that we can do about it. First of all, we need to move our bodies. And even if it's for 4 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes a day, we need to get that heart rate pumping just for us to change our energy. Energy is everything. Another truth about turning 40 is that you don't have it all together. You still maybe even discovering who you are. You might have been in a relationship, you might be coming out of a relationship, you might be by yourself for a long time. But it's that feeling of overwhelm. Society tends to think that you should know what you're doing by now, but we don't. I'm 45. Well, in July, I'm 45 soon. Hell, I still don't know what I'm doing. My kids can ask me questions, yeah, and I'd be like, I don't know, why are you asking me? Who the hell knows? It's that expectation of knowing. People expect you to know what you're meant to be doing, what you're meant to be talking about. That's a lot. That's a lot to handle. Do you know what? Put your hands up and say you do not know. I don't know what I'm going to be doing next month, next year. Hell, might not even know what I'm doing tomorrow. But that's okay. Let me be. Do not fall into that feeling of overwhelm that society, people around you, your family, and that want to put on you, that added burden of responsibility of not only trying to find yourself within this new phase of your life, but actually that expectation that you should have the answers. We don't have the answers. And I tell that to I'm honest with my children all the time. My biggest son is 21 and my youngest son is going to be 15. And I say that to them. I don't know. You have to figure it out, because I'm still figuring it out. And it's just being honest with yourself about that. That will stop some of the overwhelm in terms of having to figure it out. Don't get me wrong. Everything is figure outable, but you don't have to know right now and right then. Are there any particular changes or challenges or struggles that you're dealing with right now? I want to know. In my description box down below, just down there, there is a survey that you can take, and it's just asking you about your struggles. My mission from my own journey is actually to share the things I've learned, because I know change is hard. But if you take my survey, not only will you receive a free exclusive gift from me just for taking the survey and just letting me know how you're feeling, but I've also got a little bonus for you. So just pause the video, take the survey, and then let's come back and wrap this up. I know for a fact that change is really hard. I mean, really hard. A few years ago, I never thought I'd be sitting here talking to you lovely ladies for living a life that I have come from. I mean, like I said, I was 30 pounds overweight. I was nearly 20 pounds in debt. I was not liking my job. I had no way of enjoying life at all. And fast forward to just being honest with myself and actually finding solutions to how I could make those changes. It's been a whole 360 of 180, whatever the maths is, change to where I am. So do not lose despair if any of the things I've spoken about today have triggered you and made you think, actually, I wanted to trigger you to say, actually, I need to make a change. I have got so much to give to the world. I have got so much to offer. There's so much of me that I've been holding back and not allowing to sing, and not allowing to just be free and embrace my brazen self. Now is the time. Now is the time. You have got no excuses, because everything that you thought you should be ashamed of, you can release it. You can release it, because I was you, and you can now be a different version of you. So let me know in the comments below if any of the things we've discussed today resonate with you, or if there's anything else that you're struggling with that you're ready to share. Because actually, at the age of 41, when I had my crisis, I really thought everyone else had their shit together and I was the only one going through it, and I was very embarrassed. I was so embarrassed about how I was feeling about myself, how I was feeling about my life. I couldn't believe the state and the situation I found myself in, with my weight, my debt, my negative mindset. I couldn't believe it. But I realized now, after working with so many of you brazen women, that I was not alone. And we need to talk about it in order to share our experience, share what we did to change those things, share how we broke free and created lives and life experiences that we are so happy to be living. So let me know in the comments below what your challenges are, what your struggles are, and don't forget to fill out the survey, because I've got something of a bonus for you that would definitely help you. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and also if you look down in the description below, you can actually go straight to the blog. You can find me on my socials, and just, you know, let's create a movement. Let's actually be brazen. Let's do the things that we have been putting off for all these years because we've got other commitments and other excuses, really. It's time to make time for you. Come over and join me. Be bold, be brazen, but mostly be kind, especially to yourself. Just to give you an example of nothing being perfect, but you can still make changes, you can still keep going, you can still... Let me show you the reality of what's going on here. You see? My big son playing video games on silent while I'm filming, because this is where the best light is, so this is what I've got to do. But it's all about progress, not perfection. Come on now, ladies, come on. Join the tribe. Get brazen, get bold. Let's do this.